Since home, Skillet, what's popping?
What it do?
Oh, we rocking the same thing right now.
You already know. We always on
We
the
we
same page.
flexing. We flexing. All right, y'all. So I am definitely going to give Travis the opportunity to introduce himself, drop his credentials, give you the evidence and the experience that comes from what is Mr. Travis P. Jackson, as well as what HBCU Pride Nation is. But first and foremost, Travis, thank you so much for joining me for 21 minutes of greatness.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is our first day. I mean, we're doing 21 days of greatness. I'm really trying to get people just to realize that their greatness is within their control. And
Yeah.
the best way for me to start that is by showing others that it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts in the mind, but it's doable. So today you're helping me kick off my challenge, 21 days of greatness, and I'm so grateful for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Take the floor. Take the floor.
So, well, thank you, Zena C, Zena Conway, semiotics, greatness, and everything that you are for this opportunity, and let me kick off your challenge, your 21 Days of Greatness challenge. And for me, I am Travis P. Jackson, the one and only, and I'm the CEO and founder of HBCU Pride Nation. I'm a speaker. I teach leadership through the game of Jenga. I'm really just a vessel that God uses every day to impact my own life, as well as impact the lives of other people. So I've been able to do so much in such a short time span of life. So that, and then also what HBCU Pride Nation is, it's one of the biggest HBCU platforms in the country. Yes, ma'am.
Hey.
And we just basically show people why HBCUs are important, and we impact young people to go to HBCUs. We are storytellers. We are, we do a lot in the advertising space, trying to increase that. Of course, the merchandise, you know, gotta have the seal right there. Yeah. What else? Me and Zena are part of the. It's 6 of us.
We're 2 of 6.
Yeah, we're 2 of
6. We're 1/3.
We're 2 of 6 hosts on Meet Me at the Captain podcast, which is a podcast that we just released to bring the HBCU experience to audio. So that, and then, you know, I love Zena. So,
I appreciate you. I love you too, Trav. You are definitely a force to be reckoned with, and I see your greatness. I've seen your greatness since day one, y'all. I probably tell this story probably way too much, and I know Travis is probably tired of hearing it.
No, I loved it. I listened to it last night. I said, "Yo, I really did that, bro. I didn't even realize I did that."
You did, but y'all, let me give y'all a little heads up. So, back in, what was that, 2011? 2011, 2012. I was recruiting for a program at Winston-Salem State University, and I was taking a break, or we were wrapping up, and I was standing there talking to my parents, and this is during CIAA. It was the high school day, and my parents had stopped by to see how things were going.
Were we in the convention center?
We were in the convention center.
Okay, it's coming back.
We were in the convention center.
Really,
this was young Trav, y'all. This was like fresh HBCU Pride Nation. It's just kicking off. So I was standing there with my parents, and then next thing I know, Travis popped out of freaking nowhere and was just like, and kind of like slid by me. It's like you spoke to me, but you slid by me and went straight to my pops. And he was like, "Hi, I'm Travis P. Jackson, and I am the founder and CEO of HBCU Pride Nation, and I would really love to get on your radar." And I'm just sitting here like, who is this? But you made a lasting impression. So, which is another reason I'm so grateful that you're my first influence when it comes to my 21 minutes of greatness, because it takes a lot to be that person. It takes a lot to recognize your own greatness so much, or have a passion about something so solid and so much that you're like, look, I'm gonna go for it. Can you expound upon that? Like, what just fueled that level of confidence within you, and where has it gotten you to today?
But first and foremost, I see my right hand on here as well,
which
makes us, ebony. So that means
we're 3 of 6.
Yeah, we're 3 of 6. All right, cool. So when I really look back on it, as in like who I am now, I apologize so much for doing that. Cause
Don't
hey,
apologize. It
young
works.
Travis was a go getter, bro. Young
I
Travis,
mean,
like I didn't care who you was. If I seen your face and I researched you and everything, I was just hungry.
but
I
it
need
takes that. It takes that hunger to really embark upon your greatness. I apologize. I interrupted. Keep going. Play.
yeah. And shout out to Chris House and Sin too. But yo, it's like when I was about to go to A&T, I straight up went to the recruiting officer that was at East Mac High School, and the words I said to her was like, "I'm coming to kick the doors down. I'm gonna leave a legend. I'm gonna make a tremendous impact." And now at A&T, like you know who Travis Jackson is. Travis. They knew who Travis Jackson was, but now people are starting to understand who Travis P.
You gonna
Jackson.
know who Travis P. Jackson is.
Yeah. Um, and I think I just left church or whatever. And I think a perfect way to just talk about greatness is sometimes it's faster for us to accept God than it is for us to accept ourselves, right? And a lot of times we have to be able to understand who we truly are. And that comes from healing, that comes from doing a lot of internal work, that comes from being able to see your failures as successes. And what I mean by that is seeing your failures as those things that you had to go through in order to grow through it. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes those lessons in failure are the things that we need most in order to continue to push forward to where God wants us to go. You know?
Message.
Yes, ma'am. Also we got to stop comparing ourselves to people. Like a lot of times people are comparing their behind the scenes to people's highlight reels. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
And a lot of times you have to understand that you are significant, that you have a purpose, that you when you understand that your purpose is bigger than you start moving different, right? Like
Absolutely.
like for me, I got Ebony, I got you, I got Dev, I got a lot of my people. Um, I may not pay everybody, but I have the representation of I don't just represent myself. I
Mm-hmm.
represent everybody that has invested in me. I represent the people that have poured into me. I represent Janice Jennings, who's my
There
mother.
you go. Hey,
Like
mama.
if people know mama, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And just being great starts with you. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally, it starts with you. Um, when you think about your own greatness, you don't need any validation from anyone to be great. You have to understand that you're already validated because you're qualified.
That part.
God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies those that he called.
That
Right.
part.
And I want you to also understand that all you have to do is give yourself grace, right? Whatever you feel.
That's a big word.
Yes,
That's a
ma'am.
big word. That grace is a big word. I think we overlook that word far too much. Play.
Play, boom. Um, you have to give yourself grace. There's a lot of people that's probably watching this live that's thinking about stuff that they went through years ago
Mm-hmm.
that they haven't forgiven. So, hey, and this
Let
another
that
thing,
go.
another big word, Zena, is forgiveness, right?
Forgiveness.
A lot of times people think that they only have to forgive people that's external, right? As in your parents, as in your friends, as whatever. But the greatest forgiveness that you could give to yourself to move towards your greatness is yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you're in control of yourself. You are the discipline that goes with it. Even if there's opportunities that you feel that people close doors on you to, like
Right.
you got to forgive yourself for that as well. And the thing that you got to forgive yourself as it pertains to doors being closed to you is the fact that you was still after the door closed, you still wanted to go through that door.
Right.
You were still trying to figure out how to get through that door. You was trying to pick the locks and
Oh,
everything.
not pick the lock
You know what
though.
I'm saying? Yeah, like pick the locks and everything. But so many times people are told no, or there's a door closed, but they still try to figure it out. When the
Rejection can
whole
be painful.
exactly, but also rejection is also redirection. You feel what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Because
Calculating.
just as see for me, as I became the CEO and founder of HBC Pride Nation, it came from a time where I was disqualified from being SGA president at A&T, right?
Right.
And the same day that I got disqualified from that. I mean, the same day that I got disqualified from being SGA president was the same day that I got qualified to run my own company. And of course, I had to learn everything along the journey. A lot of times, people want to, and they try to know everything and try to just look at the destination, Zena. And a lot of times people don't value what they have to obtain along the journey towards their greatness. You feel what I'm saying? So I love this, bro.
No, I'm serious. Like people, so many of us, and I like to speak in we's because we's are a lot easier to process. We's are a lot easier to absorb because it doesn't feel as though you're being attacked. But a lot of us get to a point where we just feel like we're not worthy of the greatness that has already been bestowed in us, which is why it was so valuable to bring you on and to tell a snippet of your story. So y'all should definitely be following Travis because he has a plethora of information. Both I am Travis P. Jackson as well as HBCU Pride Nation because his connections are bananas. But when it comes to your own personal greatness, you really have to decide, make the decision that you can own it, that you are responsible for it, that you can control it, you can obtain it, it's yours, claim it. You know what I'm saying? It's literally written everywhere that it's already yours. And so many times we're constantly trying to seek it when all we got to do is recognize it, point it out, pinpoint it.
And another thing, Z, a lot of times people want what they want. But one thing that I've come to the realization of is sometimes when we settle for what we want, is settling for less than what God has for us. You get what I'm saying? Because a want is a personal desire, right? And sometimes, like, have you ever seen the meme where you had the little girl with the teddy bear with the little teddy bear behind her back, and then you got God right there with Jesus, with a way bigger teddy bear. And she's contemplating if she wants to do it or not. The whole time she don't understand what's behind God's back.
That's true.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like, don't settle for less than what you worth, right?
That's real.
Me and you talked about this earlier. For the entrepreneurs out there, and the business owners and everything, we have to stop charging less than what we're worth because we want to charge towards the comfort of people's pockets. You feel what I'm saying? So this whole greatness.
You got to know your worth.
Yeah, know your worth.
You got to know your worth. You know your worth. You own the keys to your destiny. You know, you recognize your own greatness. No one can stop you. It's a train. Can't nothing stop no train. Like, can't nothing stop the greatness train. I do want to hit on this point. My lovely cousin, the Virgo unicorn, she mentioned that sometimes the rejection is for your protection.
It is.
Baby, you better come through with the gems. Okay. So we have a few more minutes. I definitely want to respect everyone's time. 21 minutes is definitely disrespectful, but at the same time, everyone, I mean, this could be somebody's lunch break. This could be just the one little snippet that someone gets to break away. And I hope that you get to walk away feeling renewed and refreshed and ready for your next steps, you know? And with that being said, I have two more questions for you, and hopefully we can squeeze these in. The first one is, how do you define greatness?
How do I define greatness? How do I define greatness?
How do you define greatness?
Greatness is out of the box.
Okay.
Greatness is being unique. Greatness is being authentic.
Authentic is real.
Authenticity is like the number one ingredient for me when it comes to success. Greatness is being able to build. So I teach leadership through the game of Jenga, and the way that I rebuild the tower is by pulling out the blocks, and those represent certain failures, right?
Right.
But with your failures, you could always rebuild yourself. So being able to take what you've been through and understand that every adversity or anything that you've been through in your life will be used for a reason. That's greatness, and putting that into play. The one thing that I want to touch on, Z, is that the amount of followers that you have on any platform doesn't constitute how great you truly are. the amount of followers, the amount of
If I had enough
engagement.
space, I would turn around and clap.
um,
I agree.
because yeah, we put out a lot of stuff in 17 minutes.
We did.
Um, a lot of
That's
times
greatness for
people,
you.
exactly, girl, both of us. But a lot of times people have a hard time being who they are on a platform
Mm-hmm.
and in real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those two things should go together.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So, and they should be parallel.
They should
But
be. They should build
yeah,
on top of one another. You shouldn't feel as though you are forcing a facade online, and then and at home, it's not rooted. It's not. There
exactly.
aren't any roots on the physical, emotional, mental side that's within your core wrapped around you. So you should definitely, who you are online should be a reflection of who you are at your core. It doesn't necessarily mean you're giving all facets of your diamond, but you are giving authentic faces to whom you are. Um, Another thing I wanted to hit on just before we wrap up, and I think it's the perfect way to sign out, is what is a tip that you can give to those greats out there listening right this moment? What is one, maybe two things that you can sit there and be like, look, if you don't do nothing else and you want to feel great about yourself, or you want to decide to own your greatness today, this is the one thing that I would personally recommend to you that works for me because I've tested it and it's tried and true.
Well, my perspective shift that I speak about,
Absolutely.
the this factor.
Hmm.
That's. But first would be, you can't be Superman and Superwoman to everyone else, and kryptonite to yourself. That's the first.
Mm.
Um, and my second one is my favorite one that I've been saying recently, is if you take the words disadvantage, if you say disadvantage, disqualification, um, this disobey, and all these words that term disgrace as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
You have to understand that whatever you think disqualifies you to go higher.
Hmm.
Whatever you think is a disgrace in your life, this is the grace that you have in order to move yourself to the next step,
Right.
with God. Whatever you see as a disappointment, this is what will appoint you to get where you're supposed to be.
I love you,
And
Travis.
whatever you see as your disadvantages, these are the advantages that you have in your life to go where you need to be and to be great.
I love it. I
I love
love
you.
it. I love it. Like we did this, sugar. I know y'all
You
hear my
already know.
son. My son is out here like living his best life. So I won't apologize for him.
Not at
But
all.
he is an amazing little being, and he had some words to say. So he was co-signing on what you were saying, homie.
Do you see? Hey, I'm gonna tell you somebody else you got to get up on here, and I got to see her. I ain't seen her in a minute.
I'm
But do you see
writing.
underscore Queen Story?
Queen story.
Right. She's in this live right now. That's
Okay.
that's 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 my girl.
Hey sis, he just gave you a mighty shout out because this is going everywhere. So Queen
Yes.
story, I'm here for it.
You and her, you and Brittany, y'all need to meet, and she
Okay.
needs to be a part of your 21 Days of Greatness because
Okay.
she is phenomenal.
Okay, I'm here for it. I actually needed to hear that, y'all. Let me browse through these. I came late, but I just got all the smoke. Yes, 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 yes. Look, Travis was preaching. Travis was on it today, and he's always on it. So if y'all aren't familiar with Travis P. Jackson, I suggest y'all get real familiar with him. We work together, like we stated at the beginning. We have a podcast that just released its second episode. We have what,
Did you say
5 more to
his
go?
second episode?
I thought I said our second episode.
Okay,
Y'all,
thank
he
you.
gets on me all the time because that's another story for another day. Greatness is greatness, and we're in this together. So we have a episode of Meet Me at the Caf, the podcast, which is a podcast that encompasses the HBCU experience in audio form. There are 6 co-hosts on that. Yes, we said 6. There are 6 of us up there running our lovely mouths, giving our wonderful perspectives, because that's exactly what a HBCU does. We come together, we become family, and we make sure that we all thrive and survive. So
And I get to lead all the
he
conversations.
gets to leave all the conversations. So Travis, again, it is we're 21 minutes in. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to drop before we sign off?
Zena is my work wife. I just want y'all to
I
know.
knew you was
Love you.
gonna go there. I knew y'all was gonna go. I'm surprised he ain't signed off as soon as that happened, y'all, because that's some shizzle sticks he would do. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for your time. I am so grateful. Attention is energy, and energy is infinite and abundant. I am so grateful for you. Make sure y'all sign up for my 21 days of greatness. Right now it's going on live, but it will be going on ongoing, because I believe that this is the first step to owning your greatness. You have to recognize that it's even possible.
You
And
gotta own it.
you have to own it.
You
You
can't
have
rent your greatness. Hey, let me tell you something. You can't rent your greatness. You gotta own your greatness.
that part.
You can't rent it.
That I might have to borrow that, Travis. I might have to check that out from the Jackson Library, because you can't rent your greatness. You
You
have to
can't
own
rent
it.
your
You have
greatness.
to
You
grab
have
the
to own it. You
reins.
gotta pay a mortgage on it. You gotta trademark it. You know what
Oh
I'm
my
saying?
goodness. Yes. It is trademark. Oh, I don't play games. That's another thing. Free gym. If you have a business, you have something that you created, go ahead and lock that down, because
You don't want to
the
go through
the
what I'm going
enemy
through.
the enemy will come through and snatch your product, and just like God giveth, God can take it away. So handle your business, make sure you own your greatness, claim it today, and do and become the best you can possibly become. Peace, love, and light. I'm so grateful for all of y'all. Y'all have a blessed day, and we out.